Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You know, I love to get your day started off on the right foot. So with that in mind, here is your inspiring quote of the day. This one from Wilson Misner, who says, "If you count all your assets, you always show a profit." That's like a bank teller way of saying, hey, count your blessings and you're always going to see that they are plentiful. And really, it's true. When you think about that quote, I think the heart of it says this: we should learn to appreciate whatever we have. If we take a moment to reflect on our lives, we'll find out that we actually have more than we thought we did. Think about it for a second. You have so many assets in your life. You've been blessed in so many ways. And it brings to mind, for me, a biblical truth. Now, this comes from Luke chapter 6, verse 38. And you may have heard this verse before, but I want you to think about it in a way other than money. It says, give and you'll receive. Your gift will return to you in full, pressed down, shaken together to make room for more, running over and poured into your lap. The amount you give will determine the amount you get back. So many times that scripture's used during the tithe and offering time at church, but I want you to think about it in other ways. It's not all about money. It's about everything that you give, your time, your effort. Yeah, sure. I mean, even your resources. Well, you could apply it to that too. But what I'm saying is, if you want more of a blessing in your life, you have to be more of a blessing to others. Wow. Can you do that? Can you make a small little tweak to your day today to include doing something good for somebody else? It doesn't have to be huge, just something little. And then you watch and see if something little doesn't happen back to you. And then as you gradually step it up, something medium. And then something medium happens to you. It's amazing how it works. But hey, give it a try. And then let me know how it turns out for you. Email me, Steven@885jfm.com. I'm always ready to hear from you. Here's John Reddick with I Believe It, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Today's going to be an amazing day. I feel it. I saw this and I'm like, whoa, this is so me. Tell me if you can relate. There's this sign sitting outside the shop. And you know, one of those little chalkboard signs, they can change the message out whenever they want to. It says, welcome to adulthood. You get mad when they rearrange your grocery store now. Why can't they leave stuff in the same place? I know what I need, and I usually know where it's at, and they change it up. It's on a different aisle. It's on the end cap. Come on, leave it alone, right? Change, I guess it's okay, but I don't really like it much. If we have many more mornings like this, I'm going to get spoiled because it is fabulous outside. I was riding in with the windows down. It's 64 degrees in Bluntsville and Scottsboro, 65 in Coleman, and 68 right now here in Gunnersville. Wow, it's gorgeous outside. Your forecast is brought to you by Bonds Appliance at 1415 Gunner Avenue in Gunnersville, offering sales and service on not just home appliances, but lawn and garden tools too. Their number's 256-582-8408. Now your word of life. Today from James chapter 5, verse 13, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Are any of you suffering hardships? You should pray. Are any of you happy? You should sing praises. It's a problem and an answer. A problem and an answer. I love how he gives us all the answers. It's like the ultimate cheat sheet. We've got the open book for an open book test. How neat is that? Why don't you share that word of life with somebody? We've got it ready for you across all of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. And thanks so much for hanging out with me this morning. I got some fun stuff to talk about lined up. I hope you'll stick around. And remember, if you need to stream us, just go to our website, 885jfm.com. Click that on now button, press play, and you're good to go. And hey, who knows? I might be able to see your little pin pop up on my map. I can shout you out.
To have someone believe in us, to have one person see a spark in us, helps us see the spark in ourselves. You know, I think it takes only one person, whether it's a friend or a coach or a parent, a boss sometimes, you know, who takes a liking to us. I mean, almost all of us can remember one person in our lives was a coach or a teacher who took us under their wing and saw something that we didn't see.
I have a little brother. His name is John, and he's in the military. He's in the Army. He's stationed up at Fort Campbell in Kentucky. So glad he's back in the States now because he was over in South Korea for a few years with his family. But now he's just about 3.5 hours away, so it's nice to be able to catch up from time to time. Yeah? But let me tell you, growing up with a brother was not easy. No. We'd get on each other's nerves all the time. And all of you parents right now, you're like, yeah, I get it. I've got 2 boys as well. Oh, well, be glad you weren't raising them during the late 80s, early 90s when WWF wrestling was on Saturday morning TV, because we got rowdy in the living room. We would try all these different moves, the suplexes and the body slams. Yeah, we hurt each other from time to time, but hey, we made it. We're alive. We survived. We have each other's backs now, but my goodness, sometimes we just couldn't stand each other. Yeah, I think that's why this little comment hit me so hard. It's a little video meant for someone to share with their brother. It's from TikTok, and so I'm going to play it for you. Some of the principles in here are just so true. See what you think about this.
Say this to your bro! Hello, brother! You are my partner in crime! Unless we get caught. It wasn't me. It's an honor to call you brother. When you do something good, I copy it. But when you do something bad, I try not to laugh at you. I love my brother simply because he's my brother.
I love that. You're my partner in crime, unless we get caught. Then it wasn't me. So true. Well, fancy seeing you here. You know what time it is, right? You know what that usually means too, right? Yeah, well, you want to just help me out? All right, let's do this thing. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn! All right, now let's crank that engine. Let's start that music so I can say, hey everybody, it's time to play the Carline competition. It's your chance to win some gift cards this morning. One to Wendy's for a Frosty, another one to Albertville Home Bakery for a couple cookies or cupcakes, your choice, and another to the Caring Heart Thrift Store in Arab. Yeah, it's your chance to win 3 gift cards, 1 to keep, 2 to give away, even get to share some love with somebody on the radio. It all depends on whether you can answer my question. And here is the first question of today's Carline competition. Which is the cry of a donkey? Is it a blah, a bray, a bleat, or a blubber? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Which is the cry of a donkey? A blah, a bray, a bleat, or a blubber? Oh, I've already got my caller. Stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song, and I'll get your answer. Here's Toby Mac and Zach Williams with Cornerstone. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Who am I talking to?
Logan.
All right, Logan. Today's Friday. Are you happy about it?
Yeah.
How has school been so far this year?
Good.
Good. What grade are you in now?
6.
6th grade. All right, moving on up. I guess, you're considered in middle school now?
Yeah.
Whoa. Isn't that, kind of strange? Is it a whole new school as opposed to last year?
Yeah.
Yeah? So, you're getting to learn this new layout of the school and new teachers and a new principal and all that stuff. But everything's going good, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to hear it. All right, then, Logan, I got a question for you. This could win you 3 gift cards. Which is the cry of a donkey? Is it a blah, a bray, a bleat, or a blubber?
A bray.
A bray is correct. Congratulations to you. You just won all 3 gift cards. How does that make you feel?
Good.
Good. I'm glad. Now, here's the part I love, because I know you're going to enjoy one of these gift cards, but we want you to give the other 2 away to 2 very special people. Who are those 2 people?
My brother.
Okay. What's your brother's name?
Cameron.
All right. What do you like about that guy?
He's funny.
Awesome. All right. And then who's that second person?
My other brother.
Oh, what's his name?
Isaac.
What do you like about him?
He's funny too.
All right, now, Logan, I want you to be honest with me. Do y'all get along all the time?
Not all the time.
But most of the time, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I've got a little brother too, so I know how that is. I will get these gift cards sent your way. One last question for you, Logan. Why do you like listening to the Lifeline Morning Show?
Plays good music.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're listening, man. You're the reason why we're here. We're just trying to make your day a little bit better. Have a great day at school, okay?
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Logan, yes, a donkey brays. It reminds me of this old nursery rhyme. I don't know, maybe you've heard it before. Donkey, donkey, old and gray, open your mouth and gently bray. Lift your ears and blow your horn to wake up the world this sleepy morn. Hey, I think maybe we should practice braying real quick. Okay, so all of you, ready? You ready for this? We're going to sound like a donkey at the count of 3. Ready? All right, 1, 2, 3. Yee-haw! It's like I could hear you here in the studio. That was awesome. Good job. All right, I've got another question here. I wonder if you're going to take home some gift cards like Logan just did for answering this one correctly. All right, here we go. The human body has how many pairs of ribs? Is it 8, 11, 10, or 12? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, the human body has how many pairs of ribs? Is it 8, 11, 10, or 12? The number to call, 256-505-0885. And there's my caller. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Hey, can you sound like a donkey for me?
Beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. What's your name?
Paisley.
What's your last name?
Nice.
I thought that was that Paisley. Good morning to you. What grade are you in this year?
Third.
3rd grade. How's it been so far?
Good.
Good. I'm glad. Have you enjoyed seeing your friends? It was a really long summer, right?
Yeah.
I gotcha. You playing any sports right now?
Yes, I'm playing cheer and gymnastics.
Cheer and gymnastics. Woo! A flexible girl. You getting out there dancing around and all that tumbling that you do. It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I've got a question for you. This might land you 3 gift cards if you get it right. All right. The human body has how many pairs of ribs? 8, 11, 10, or 12?
12.
That's exactly right. Congratulations, Paisley. You just won 3 gift cards. What do you think about that?
Good.
I think it's good too. And here's the part I love, because I want you to enjoy one of these gift cards, and I want you to give the other 2 to 2 very special people. Can you tell me who those 2 people are?
My baby brother and my mom and dad.
Oh, what do you love about that baby brother?
He's so funny.
Oh, and then how about that mom and dad?
My mom, my grandma, she's because we're having a really hard time right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Because we're having a hard time because my poppy just passed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. I know that hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Can I pray for you real quick?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Paisley. Heavenly Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you so much for Paisley and the wonderful young lady that she is. And I ask you, Father, to be with her and her family during this time. It's a really sad time when we lose a loved one. And Father, I ask you to give them all comfort, to help them to remember all the good times they had with Poppy. And Father, please give them strength to get through this time. And we thank you for it right now. Please put a smile on Paisley's face today. And we thank you for it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, Paisley, I'm going to get these gift cards sent your way. You just never know where somebody's at in life when they call the radio station. They call in for, to win a set of gift cards. But I get to dig a little deeper. I get to ask a few questions. And sometimes people feel comfortable enough to open up, let me know what's going on in their lives. And I'm glad it happens because it gives us all a chance to pray for them. And we all need that support. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I have got to shout somebody out listening to us right now in Aracatuba, Brazil. Wow. Thank you for making us part of your day. And I see you over there in Helsinki, Finland, too. Oh, and you as well, listening right here in Alabama, in Gunnersville and Arab. Thanks for making us part of your day, too. What exactly is beauty? I mean, you watch TV, you see examples of what people call beauty. You look at the magazines, you see what people call beauty. But what really is beautiful? And ladies, I'm talking to you. What do you consider as beautiful? I want you to think about that because we're going to dive into that topic. I think you're really going to like this. So stick around. Now your word of life. Today from James chapter 5, verse 13. In the New Living Translation of the Bible, it says, "Are any of you suffering hardships? You should pray. Are any of you happy? You should sing praises." I love that verse just because it's so simple. Here's the problem. Here's the answer. Here's the problem. Here's the answer. And if we just follow that, everything's going to be okay. Why don't you share that word of life with somebody today? We've got it ready for you across all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Well, I came across this video just a little while ago, and it's this husband and wife. Now, they're just chilling out on the back patio, and their daughter's there with them. And this wife is asking her husband a question or two. Actually, she came across this picture of a celebrity and said, "Hey, what do you think about how this woman looks?" And his response has garnered a whole lot of attention over on the socials. What did he say about how beautiful this celebrity was? I think it's going to take you back just a little bit. You want to hear what he said? You really want to hear it? You know that us guys, okay, all right, here we go. It's a good ending. Take a listen.
Listen, women have to stop believing the lies that their value is only because they look young. It's ridiculous that I see in women as they age, which we can't stop. I'm getting older. We can't stop the aging process.
Yeah, but you're looking better as you get older.
Aging is not the problem. It's the machine, advertising, capitalism, like all those things. We live in America, it's great. But when you can understand the way that those machines operate is by feeding the machine all of your money to try to look younger, try to be fitter, as your body starts to age.
So do you think I'm hotter now than when you met me?
Oh, 100%. Oh, it's so much more beautiful. I mean, you were hot then. But there is a wholeness to your beauty now. Because it comes with wisdom. It comes with inner knowing. It comes with doing the work that is required to get to this point. Because if you're not growing, you're stuck. So you're doing the beautiful work of the change, the lasting change of moving forward, which is wisdom. Because the value is really on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's so attractive to
Even the daughter was in on that. She's like, "Oh, yeah." See, beauty, it's more than just skin deep. And I love this guy was ready to tell it like it is because he's right. There's a machine. The machine says you must look young. You must look fit. You must be this size. You must, it's all these musts that it's just the machine setting the standard. Then that machine is pushing it out there, hoping everybody grabs onto that lie. So I just wanted to let you know, you might not look like a Jennifer Aniston or actually the celebrity they were talking about there was Jennifer Lopez. She was looking at a picture of Jennifer Lopez and looked at her husband and said, "What do you think about her?" And that's what spurred on that conversation. So it's gained a lot of attention over on TikTok for so many reasons. And actually, it's even been featured on some websites and other national news media. So I'm glad to see it. Just wanted to throw it out there, let you know. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I think the only two people I've ever seen just pick up an onion and bite into it are probably Shrek and the Grinch. Right? I mean, you just don't pick one of those up and eat it like an apple. No, it brings a whole lot of flavor to the table, doesn't it? But it depends on what kind of onion you get. Is it going to bring the heat or is it going to be nice and sweet? Let's talk a little bit more about those varieties of onions coming up. And the headline that I saw that really made me say, well, bless their hearts. At the top of the hour, stick around. We'll talk about it right after this. It's Benjamin Williams Hastings with That's the Thing About Praise. A little goes a long way. I'm talking about garlic and onions. You eat too much garlic and it seeps out of your pores. You stink all day long, right? And with that onion, you got to be careful or your breath be kicking. Oh, it's bad, right? What other things do we associate to onions? Well, body odor kind of smells like an onion. Not very pleasant, right? but let's talk about the different varieties of onions that there are out there. Okay? Now, this was really spurred on by perusing this website I go to for my food stories. I keep a check there. And some of the headlines are great. I mean, they have news about the new pumpkin pie blizzard being back at Dairy Queen. Dunkin's pumpkin spice everything is back. Chick-fil-A's bringing out a honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich. I can't wait for the Chick-fil-A in Gunnersville to reopen, by the way. But this headline that I saw caused me to really think, well, bless their hearts. People who don't live down here don't know what they're missing. The headline said this: what are Vidalia onions and when should you cook with them? I'm like, really? You're having to ask about a Vidalia onion? No, that's just common around these parts. You've got to be careful when you're choosing your onions, right? Whether it's white, yellow, red, Spanish, green, Vidalia, they all have different applications. I know that you've probably bitten into a cheeseburger or a hamburger before and you got a hold of an onion that just set your mouth on fire, right? Yeah. Well, these sweet onions, they are so good. I mean, you could just eat them by themselves. Some people pickle them and put them on the table, and it's really good too. But they were talking about what exactly is a Vidalia onion. I'm like, well, it's just the best onion in the world. But did you know that Vidalia onions, to actually have that Vidalia name, have to come from Georgia? Yep, within a 20-county area of southern Georgia, and they're crowned with that official trademark of Vidalia. Yeah, delicious stuff. Now, there's only one other onion I've found to rival a Vidalia. I don't know if you've ever had one of these. It's called a Walla Walla onion. It comes from Washington State. And those things are absolutely delicious. If you haven't had one of those before, you may want to try one. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. But hey, you know, we're all about having some fun and talking about the good stuff here on the radio. But bless their hearts up north, if they don't know what a Vidalia onion is, ooh, they don't know what they're missing. Here's We Are Messengers with a Wholehearted right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Something special about older people. They can get grumpy, can't they? My granny would call it crotchety. They get crotchety. Oh, I tell you what, I've sat around my grandma's house countless times and heard her and my papa just back and forth with each other and just playing around, but it was so funny to hear. There's just something that comes with being with somebody for so long. You learn each other. You get tired of each other. You still love each other, but comments like these can really get out there really quick, and it's a lot of fun to listen to. You see, this daughter had gone over and visiting her parents, and they're on up in years. Here, take a listen to what happened there.
64 years I've had you. You think I'm gonna give you up now? I ain't got time to train another one.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with you.
I wanna know something.
What?
I wanna know something. Where would you go? Tell me.
I got several places.
Well, tell me where they are, so I can call them and make arrangements for you.
Janine, Deborah, Elizabeth, and the one other little cutie pie. I got them lined up.
Got them lined up. Oh, my goodness. That made me laugh so hard. Oh, hey, I hope you're having a great day. Maybe that put a smile on your face. Well, I think I hear a little something in the background. What exactly could that be? Oh, it sounds like a helicopter? We'll talk about helicopter parenting coming up. Are you a helicopter parent? What exactly does that mean anyway? Well, you know, generally that's a parent who hovers over their children at all times, almost suffocating them, not letting them have much freedom or independence, right? Because you want to control their outcome. Well, it's a little deeper than just, you know, that helicopter parent at a birthday party. It goes actually a lot deeper than that, through school and even extracurricular activities. I came across this story. Basically, this mom is summing up what she heard at a talk with her high schooler. They were there listening to a former dean from Stanford University. Her name is Julie Lythcott-Haims, and she says that overparenting is ruining our kids. The problem is helicopter parenting. It's defined by a parent's will to engineer a particular outcome in their child. Julie likens it to the process of sculpting a bonsai tree. If you manicure it the right way, like making them take certain classes, ace the right tests, master the most impressive pastimes. Then they'll become exactly what colleges want to see. And this mom goes on to say, as I listened to her various examples and quite hysterical true stories that represent this parenting style, I found myself running through my own habits, trying to determine whether I fall into this category. She mentioned some of her peers that won't let their 12-year-old attend an age-appropriate movie with a group of friends without an adult. She talked about the parents that finish their kids' school assignments because it might not be worthy of an A on its own, or the parent who insists that their child finds their passion and then take it off the shelf and show it to college people. Yeah. She talked about the concierge parents who insist on making little Trevor's life as comfortable as possible so that he can excel in those areas that really matter, the stuff that shows up on the transcript. But something is continually overlooked by these helicopter moms and dads. It's not just the grades that matter. It's not just the extracurriculars. What studies indicate time and time again is that executive function comes from something more. We've got to take a step back from this checklist approach to parenting and start looking at the raising of our kids with the big picture in mind. And she goes on to give the consequences, the solutions, and what we can do as parents. So stick around. We'll dig into the second half of the story coming up here on the show. It's quite insightful, so I think you'll get a lot out of it. I know I will. We've been talking this morning about this mom's discovery of how helicopter parenting can really ruin our kids. She was at this talk with her high schooler, listening to this former dean from Stanford University talk about how it's a problem, but what can be done to fix it. So we've already covered part 1. Here's part 2. And this is so good. This mom says the summary she got from this talk was, this push toward a sort of superhuman teen is imposing big consequences. The dean presented recent studies which indicate that college students are more depressed, anxious, and hopeless than ever before. She explained that self-awareness and confidence are developed through a mastery of basic problem-solving skills, skills that are found in the everyday tasks of life, keeping your room clean, making yourself breakfast, remembering your own deadlines, and learning to self-advocate when things go wrong. When we take away our child's opportunity to solve problems, we also eliminate the process of growth. When we allow our kids to act for themselves, drawing up boundaries and giving guidance and love along the way, they'll develop the confidence and passion that they need to be the successful adults that they should be. This won't necessarily translate to straight A's for every child, but here's the clincher. Straight A's aren't the recipe for success. Here's the good news. Countless studies indicate that success is not contrived by the caliber of your school, your grades, or even your IQ. Success occurs as a culmination of emotional, problem-solving, and intellectual skills that are largely learned during childhood. The other good news? In the US, it's not necessary to attend a ranked school to be successful or obtain a great job. Studies suggest that being in a smaller school can actually be more beneficial because there's a higher likelihood of mentorship between student and teacher. Being the big fish in a little pond is a better scenario than being overwhelmed in a top school. And as Julie put it, we must believe that they can get a great education at any number of universities. So here's what we can do. To conclude the lecture, Julie gave the audience the ultimate takeaway. These are the 2 best things that each of us can do for our kids to help them become successful adults. 1, give them chores. 2, teach them to love. Really, it's that simple. And if you're like me, this mom says, your intuition has known it all along, but here's a little more research to back it up. The longitudinal Harvard Grant Study, one of the longest studies of humans ever conducted, found that success in life comes from having done chores as a kid. The earlier the kid starts, the better. When our kids are too busy to do chores, we eliminate the biggest factor for success. The Harvard Grant Study also found that happiness in life equals love, not passion, love. Love of people and love of human experience. If there's anything that we can do for our kids, it's to teach them compassion, work ethic, and the love that can be found at home. What do you think about that? We've got to let them make decisions. We have to let them have some independence. And what better time than when they're still at home, because we can coach them through it if we need to. If we need to step in, we can. If we need to come up and say, hey, you handled it this way. Next time, why don't you try this? It might work out a little better. Because we've been there, we've done that, we've got the scars to prove it. So let's help our kids to think through things and not do everything for them. Yeah, I know it's tempting. You don't want your kid to be in pain or to hurt or to suffer any kind of hardship. But sometimes it's the tough love that makes the biggest difference. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. And if you really enjoyed that, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go on over to our Facebook group. It's the 88.5 JFM's Come Together Facebook group. And I'm going to put the article there so you can go and check it out for yourself. Sound good? All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this morning, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. You roll up on an accident and it's never good, right? First, some people have gotten hurt in that accident along the roadways. And then on top of that, you hate to think of it this way, but it's putting you behind on your schedule, right? You're getting there a little later. Maybe you're going to pick your kid up from school. Well, let me tell you, the people in this car were headed to school. Yeah, to a university to drop off their granddaughter who was moving in. All of her stuff was in the car and they had an accident. The rest of the story, though, it'll put a smile on your face. So stick around, I'll tell it to you, okay? Here's Shane and Shane. You've already won. It is so true that it takes a village to raise a child. It's between you and your family, right? Maybe your parents and maybe some aunts and uncles and family friends. It takes all of these people pouring into the life of this person to make them successful. And you hope and you wish that for every kid. Well, in this instance, this granddaughter was being taken to college by her grandparents. Yep, they were all in this little red car. All of her belongings in cardboard boxes. They're moving her in. It's time for her to get into her dorm. And, they're pretty strict on the scheduling for that at these universities. Well, what happened was pretty rough. You see, they accidentally rolled their car. Yeah, this little red car toppled. And so they couldn't drive it anymore. In fact, both the grandparents, they had minor injuries and they had to be taken to the hospital to get checked out. But when they kept telling the firefighters what they were up to, that's when the firefighters hatched a plan. And Station 19, the San Francisco Fire Department, they decided they would take matters into their own hands. So they picked up all those cardboard boxes that were strewn around the accident site. They loaded them up on their truck. And they assured this couple that they would get their granddaughter moved in on time. And that's exactly what they did. They got all of her stuff to the dorms, got it up the stairs, got everything set up, and she was a happy camper. Yep, she did not miss her deadline, and all was well. I'm telling you, these first responders have huge hearts. They're already putting themselves in harm's way to make sure that we're safe. But going above and beyond like that to make sure that we're even comfortable, that's something else. And that's, in a lot of ways, what I would consider being the hands and feet of Jesus, going above and beyond the call of duty and helping somebody out in really meaningful ways. Hey, I've helped people move in and out of dorms before. I can tell you, usually there's not an elevator. That's a lot of heavy lifting and climbing those stairs. And this granddaughter lucked out. It was just a great ending to that story. I had to share it with you. And hey, if you know a first responder, maybe give them a little extra pat on the back today. It might not have been them who did this way out in San Francisco, but hey, they're doing things similar to this every day, right here in our own community. And they're putting themselves in harm's way to make sure that we're safe. So a little extra love goes a long way. It'll definitely put a smile on their face. So why not do it? Here's Casting Crowns with Only Jesus, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show.
I got one question for you today. Taking this from James Clear, author of Atomic Habits. Who are the few people that create the majority of the happiness in your life? Whoever that is, can you spend time with them today? We've all got a few people, a few relationships that create the majority of the happiness. Let's make sure, be intentional, focus, spend some time with them today.
It's going to get hot, but it ain't hot yet. It's actually pretty mild out there right now. 75 in Scottsboro, 76 in Bluntsville. Okay, it's gradually getting warmer. It's 77 in Gunnersville, and 79 already in Coleman. So it's getting hotter than the past day or so, but still, it's beautiful outside. Sunshine and blue skies, come on. I love that. How about you? Yeah? Hey, tell you what, we absolutely love that we have business impact partners to help us do what we do on a daily basis. And the one bringing you your forecast this hour is none other than Bobby Buckman at First Choice Painting, LLC, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. His phone number is 256-477-3537. He's on Facebook, and his new office location is at 712 East Laurel Street in Scottsboro. Now your word of life. Today from James, chapter 5, verse 13, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Are any of you suffering hardships? You should pray. Are any of you happy? You should sing praises. It's like a problem, solution, problem, solution. And really, when you think about it, the Bible's kind of like a open book for that open book test. You could call the open book test life. Why don't you share the answers with somebody today? We've got that word of life ready for you across all of our socials on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And it's at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Well, I've been doing some interviews here lately that I'm getting ready to share with you on the radio. And this lady in particular, I got to talk with her. And it was a really cool interview. I'll tell you when it's coming up, but it's Rachel Lampa. And the name of the song is Somebody to You, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Ooh, I remember when I was a kid, especially during summer break, I'd spend most of my summer over at my granny's house. And you see, the thing about Granny is she had an open fridge policy. Anytime I was hungry, I could go open that fridge and get whatever I wanted out of there, and it was heaven on earth. And she kept all kinds of treats and little Debbie cakes and all that stuff stocked, right? Well, when it came time for lunch, you know what I was doing? I was getting into that fridge, and I was getting out that big chub of bologna. It's not the pre-sliced stuff. No, it's the kind that you can cut yourself so you can get it just the right thickness. The thicker, the better, right? Well, I'd give me a big old chunk of bologna, maybe some pickles, some cheese, some mayonnaise, some mustard on some white bread, slap that together, and oh my goodness, maybe some potato chips on the side. Oh, good stuff. So I'm all about a bologna sandwich, but I've never heard of bologna cake before. Have you? I've never seen one before, but I'm getting ready to talk about it, and I don't know what I think about it. I guess don't knock it till you try it, but stick around and we'll dig into this, and maybe you have some experience with bologna cake. Tell you what, if you have, I want to hear from you. 256-505-0885. There's this restaurant up in Huntsville that I absolutely love. It doesn't matter what kind of appetite you have because they have just about everything at this one place. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, but it's City Cafe Diner. Really good food, right? I love some of their Greek stuff too. Yeah, they got this kind of, I can never say it right. What is that stuff called? It's the Greek kind of pocket. I can't say it. Anyway, it's that really flaky, like phyllo dough. It's got like cheese and spinach on the inside of it. Oh, it's delicious. And they've got some other stuff there too, like the gyros, and they got a little bit of everything. They got, let's see, their Reuben is really good. They got matzo ball soup. But one of the most impressive things about the City Cafe Diner up on Drake Avenue in Huntsville is their cakes. If you walk in that place, look to your right as you step in, you're going to see this delicious, beautiful cake display. And I mean, there are layered cakes in there for days. They're huge. Coconut cake, chocolate, carrot cake, chocolate mousse cake, cannoli cake, tres leches. They got Milky Way cake and lemon cake and all the cakes. And they got the cheesecakes too. But there's one cake that I'm not quite sure that I would enjoy seeing even on their display. Yeah, and that is a bologna cake. Have you ever heard of a bologna cake before? Yeah, me either. Maybe you have, though. They say it's a Southern thing, but I've never known anybody to have this. But let's go through the process of making a bologna cake real quick. So I've always stuck to that whole idea of don't knock it till you try it. So let's mentally picture this. All right. So you have to have some sliced bologna, And you can make this cake with as many layers as you'd like, right? It could be a 13-layer cake. That's what it really resembles. And if you do it upright, it looks like a delicious dessert. But basically, to make one, have that bologna ready and combine a lot of whipped cream cheese with things like chopped onions, Worcestershire sauce, chives, olives, whatever else your heart desires. You spread a layer onto the bottom of your serving plate and then add the bologna layer, and then repeat that until you get to the desired shape and height. And then you frost the entire thing with more cream cheese. And you can decorate it with Cheese Whiz, crushed almonds, chives. You can get creative with it and have some crackers to go along. They say it's kind of almost like a cheese ball appetizer kind of thing, except it's bologna. Yeah, so it's an idea for you. Actually, I like bologna that much. I might actually try to make one of these. I might talk my wife into it. If I do, we'll snap pictures and shoot some video, and we'll let you know how it turns out. But this one I'm looking at, it's got olives on top, and it's got Cheese Whiz around the edges. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's a 13-layer bologna cake. So you're going to have to see if this is any good. All right, but hey, if I don't get to it before you do, if you try it out, let me know how it is, okay? Go ahead and send me a message over on any of our station socials, and I'll get it and respond, and we'll have some fun. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show, being adventurous with bologna. Here's Leanna Crawford with How Can You Not? So, things get crazy around here sometimes. I talk about some really weird stuff on the radio. Like I just got finished talking about the bologna cake, right? It's like a 13-layer bologna cake. You use that whipped cream cheese and chives and all the other good stuff and mix it in there and stack it up and frost it. Well, I say frosting loosely because it's that whipped cream cheese. And you can put Cheese Whiz on the outside of it. Well, that inspired a call. Here, I wonder if you've ever heard of this kind of cake before. 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Stephen, it's Chris Lawrence.
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Well, I heard the bologna cake thing.
Yeah?
And I was going to tell you, there's also a hot dog cake that you can look up on Google.
Really?
And it was actually on one of those cooking shows. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah?
But it was like a hot dog cake, and they had sliced hot dogs stood up all around the outside of it like a fence. But it looks really good. So because I love hot dogs and I love bologna. So I just thought that might be interesting.
Oh, thank you for that.
Look at that and check it out.
For sure. Yeah, I did. I just got on Google, and he's right. It looks like a fence around the outside of this thing, but it looks delicious. The first one I found is actually a potato salad cake with a hot dog border. It's got the tater salad on the inside. All those hot dogs looks like they cut them in half and stood them up, so it looks like a fence around it. But it's presented like a cake, and it's got it's got layered pickles on top, and then it's got a little bit of garnish, and it looks pretty interesting. I wonder what it tastes like, though. It's a cake, but it's not sweet. I don't know. It's kind of tricky, isn't it? Thank you for that, Chris. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for listening. There's this content creator over on TikTok, and he's on like Facebook and Instagram. He's all over the place. And basically, he starts his whole video off with, listen, did you know? And then he goes into this really weird fact, right? His name is Justin Danger Nunley, and it's a lot of fun to follow. Got to be careful with some of his content, though. It gets a little out there, but this one video in particular really caught my attention, and I think it'll catch yours too. Here, see what you think about this.
A lot of the times we teach our kids lessons. Sometimes they teach us lessons and make us think about the way we do things. Last night I was walking through the house and I saw Blake sitting on the floor on his phone with it plugged in. He's got one of our old phones that's not connected to cell service. He just uses it on Wi-Fi. And I said, Blake, what are you doing? He said, I'm learning Spanish. Why are you learning Spanish? He said, well, there's this kid in my class and he only speaks Spanish and I really want to talk to him. Now that was pretty powerful for me. Sometimes if you want to connect with somebody, you got to meet them where they're at. Try to be like Blake today.
Wow, that's pretty deep. Here's Natalie Grant with Corey Asbury, and You Will Be Found. Thank God he met us where we are. It's been a blast hanging out with you this morning. I'm sorry it's come to the end of the show, but I do want to leave you with one final thought. That's the inspiring quote of the day. If you count all your assets, you always show a profit. That's right, because God's been so good to you, hasn't He? He's given you so many blessings, things to be thankful for. Hey, I want you to count your blessings over this weekend, and I want you to share some love with the people who have blessed your life so much. Can you do that? All right, I'll take the challenge with you. I'll see you right back here on Monday morning from 6 to 10 for another Lifeline Morning Show. I can't wait. Hey, until then, if you want to catch up on past shows, go check out our podcast on our website and over on Spotify. Thanks for hanging out with me.